If you click on this video, there's a high chance that I just triggered you because I told you not to vibe code, and I mean it. If you're vibe coding or you want to learn how to vibe code, there's a high chance that it might not be the best option for you. I've been creating and shipping software for more than 10 years now, and today I'm going to share with you the insights of this new technology. I'm going to talk about vibe coding, no-code tools, and standard coding. By the end of the video, you're going to have a clear overview on when to use each one of them in order to boost your productivity and bring your coding experience to the next level. So with vibe coding, I'm referring to all of these new frameworks and tools where you can just build stuff using natural language. You can just slap prompts, use like a chain of thoughts, build a PDR, which is a requirement document, and then build applications from scratch. They started with mainly UI stuff. So initially they were building just static websites, but now with the new tools, for example, Lovable, Cursor, Firebase Studio, they are just getting better and better every day. So they are now able to connect to databases, like authentication. They can do almost everything. So they are evolving at an incredible speed. With no coding tools, I'm referring to all those websites or applications where you can just go in and drag and drop elements. Mainly they are used to build static pages. Technically, vibe coding frameworks can be considered as no code. Sometimes you really need to know a little bit about coding because the AI is just going to build a code and then you can review it. While instead no code tools, so you never interface with code, you just drag and drop elements, components, and you build stuff. And in the end, with coding, like standard coding environments, like the field is huge. So I basically refer to everything that you are actually coding yourself using whatever framework, Angular, Vue, React, Vanilla, JavaScript, C#. So a few days ago, my brother wanted to build his own website, something that was completely static, listing some data and maybe like a contact form. He jumped into these vibe coding tools, iterated over it for a little while, and then in the end he called me. So he was very happy because he was like, in like 2 hours I iterated over this website. It's kind of good, it's working. I looked into it. As soon as I shrink the page, the text was overflowing, the icons were like not positioned correctly, and I was like, yeah, okay, I mean, you really do not know how to code and you were able to achieve this, so it's kind of impressive. But you would need to iterate over it like again and again to build something that is very, very, very polished and very clean, very sleek. You already put like 2 hours in. Why don't you use no-code tools? If you're like non-technical, you just want to build static websites, buy a well-designed template that can cost you like $20 or something like that. Basically, you have perfect design, is customized, you can put in whatever you want, and it just takes you probably like an hour. Comparing vibe coding, no coding, and standard coding, I want to differentiate between technical people and non-technical people. So let's start from non-technical. Vibe coding can be extremely useful if you want to build MVPs at a budget without the need of having a technical team behind you. If you years ago, you couldn't do that. If you wanted to build an MVP, you just had to contact a software house or a developer, and you would have to pay like $1,000 just to get an MVP to validate. With these vibe coding tools, you can build MVPs in literally like 2 days, 1 day, even if you are completely non-technical. The MVP maybe is going to have a lot of problems, but you will be able to just put the MVP in front of an investor or a first client, validate the idea completely alone. However, when you build with vibe coding tools, you really need to pay attention to security concerns. And while it's true that you're building an MVP, so it's not like the end of the world if you have like some security concerns, it's very important that you identify like major problems. I've seen vibe coded apps that have literally sensitive API key embedded in the client-side code. You're gonna have like $1,000 bills at the end of the month. And also you need to be prepared to handle eventually a huge tech debt. Consider I vibe coded an app, I do an MVP, I put it in front of some clients, they like it, they start using it. At that point, 100% you cannot keep vibe coding the app. You really need to either build a technical team or just talk to developers or software houses that needs to build the full stack application for you. The tech debt is insane because you just built an MVP, you have to rebuild from scratch, so you're gonna have to invest a lot of money. Returning to the story of my brother, used vibe coding to build static pages, while instead, like the best option in this case would have been just to use no-code tools. Buy a template, slap it in, change the content, deploy it on a domain, a website, which is much better than the one coded with vibe coding tools. No-code tools are your best friend if you're not technical. Consider you want to validate an idea for your startup, you just build a landing page in 1 hour with a no-code tool, then run some ads or, I don't know, put the landing page in front of some clients. So like that, in 1 hour, you're already able to validate without having to iterate over it with vibe coding tools. In the latest days, these tools are being integrated with AIs and vibe coding. Slap a prompt is going to basically build the components for you, so you don't even have to drag and drop stuff. Finally, coding. If you plan on remaining non-technical, there's no real usage for you to actually learn coding. It takes a lot of years, but keep in mind that learning like the basics, variables, loops, condition, logic, something about performance optimization is going to set you miles ahead of others. So passing to technical guys now. We're talking about developers, people that already know how to program, ship stuff. So in this case, vibe coding, really, at the moment, I don't see any usage of it. So consider, for example, I need to build an MVP. I already have my templates because I shipped multiple stuff. So I just take one of my templates and I'm ready starting like from a very good point. And then I code my business logic. I change the UI, the style, and boom, I have an MVP, I have an app. Like I was able to ship 2 apps in just 2 days. While instead, no code might have some usage because you can always build static pages and you can just build in 1 hour. If you're technical, just focus on actually building your templates, whole environment of stuff that you can reuse, templates for different kind of application, your own libraries for different frameworks. And finally, coding, there's not much to talk about. You really need to hone this skill to perfection. Always keep iterating on your programming skills. This hunger and this drive to always get better at programming. If you know how to program, really, you can use whatever tool you want. Keep iterating over your projects. Always build code as it was meant to be production ready. So at this point, I'm gonna have a lot of the people that clicked on the video completely triggered because I do not like vibe coding at the moment. The truth is I use AI tools, chatbots. I use them to speed up my workflow. If I have to write like a stupid Python script, does some scraping or just fetches some data from the database that I need one time, I just ask the AI to do that. I check that the Python script is not going to erase my database. And then if it doesn't, I just run it and it works most of the time. Then you can refactor it, adapt it to your coding styles. You basically save tons of time. Another thing, very useful, researching in general. So if I have to research something, for example, for a library, I just ask the chatbot. It's going to give you a lot of options. But since I know how to program, I know where to put hands. So by starting using LLMs, I was able to boost my productivity a lot, start learning and using these LLM tools to help you build stuff faster. So recap, if you're non-technical, use vibe code to build MVP fast, validate them on the market. Instead, use no-code tools wherever you want to build a static page, so a website, your own landing page, like whatever that is. Learn coding if you're planning on actually learning how to code and ship stuff. Instead, if you're technical, for the moment, I would say do not use vibe coding. Instead, focus on building your own templates, your own universe around your workflow. And this is the same for no-code tools. So just you can use them, but focus more on having your own templates. But you can use, of course, no-code, build a landing page and share it with your marketing department or friend so they can change it. In that case, you would use like a no-code tool because it's easier for them to just edit the landing page. For standard coding, really put the time in and hone it to perfection. If you're not already doing it, start integrating AI tools, for example, chatbots, LLMs, into your workflow. I hope it was useful for you. If it was, like, give me a like. If it wasn't, do not give me a like. See you next time. Cheers.